thought I'd do a quick live because I'm going to record a video I was reading today about a new personality type model called Know Your Animals. There's 4 types. There's the monkey, who, if I remember, was open and direct. There's the lion, who is direct and reserved. There's an elephant who's reserved and indirect. And then there's a dolphin who is open and indirect. And it's like a 4 personality model, quite high level, but you can quickly use it to profile others and predict how. Well, it's more about how to deal with them and treat them, like in the workplace and stuff like that, like dealing and treating with colleagues, which I've used another one before called disc profiling. You might have heard of that. I've not heard of this Know Your Animals one, but look at this waterfall behind me. Look there. I'm just at Ingleton Waterfall Walk. Don't think. Yeah, it's just there. Look. Yeah, Ingleton Waterfalls. So it's a nice spot. I'm going to set this up here actually as a tripod unit because it'll be nicer. Just while I talk a minute. There you go. You can have a little ganders at the scenery. See if I can pull it up a bit. There you go. Right. Yeah, so I've not used that one before, Know Your Animals, but I have used the disc profiling. There's also the Myers-Briggs, so disc profiling, there's kind of 4 parts to it again, but you have a measure in each of the DISC, and the other one is Myers-Briggs, which has 16 personality types. There's 4 parts to that, and you can end up with one of 16. And the Myers-Briggs is a bit complicated. When I got done, you test yourself. I came up with it. I think it's called Entrepreneur, which it felt about right, but they're never perfect. You know what I mean? There was a bit in there that said, I always make quick decisions on just very high level information. I don't need detail. That's true. I do make quick decisions, but sometimes, not always. Like if it's a real big life-changing event, something that could impact you for 5 to 10 years or more, I always tend to need a shitload of data, go through all the data and just go over and over it. It's a really difficult thing, I need more time. But everything else, yeah, I thought the Myers-Briggs was quite correct. And the reason why I'm just talking about this Know Your Animals one, because I'm going to do a proper recorded video and how you can use it in life to sort of get better at communication and also negotiation. So if you're let me move this just so it looks right. There you go. Just so, if you're in a situation where, I don't know, you could be in a sales scenario or a business scenario in a meeting, you might need to get an outcome. I think these personality types to profile people are quite useful. They're very Machiavellian, which I like, because I think you should be a strategist in business, and I quite like the idea of developing Machiavellian skills just to get your needs met. If you're trying to make a sale, you want every trick in the book. Don't think it's immoral. You want every advantage you can. So if you can deal with people, sometimes some of the sales I do, you're dealing with a team of 10 or 20. When we make a sale to a company, it's never to one person. You might sell to who you think your client is, but they've then got to go to commercial and speak to the commercial department. They might need to speak to senior leadership. So you end up having to convince 10 people in a massive long sell, consultative sell. And you've got all these different personality types, and especially when you work in some of the larger organisations or government organisations, there are that many personality types to get around. People get stuck in these places, and you get all these there's always one that is more difficult than the rest. So you need all these tools. It's not immoral, it's just training yourself to, and when you're in that scenario, when you've got loads of sales calls to get through, you want to be reactive and quick and do it on the fly almost, like in the middle of the meeting, and just, oh, you know, they're a lion, oh, they're a dolphin, right, okay. And there's 3 or 4 things that you can do. So if you think about the dolphin, they tend to be like more of a people person, but they're also like quite, maybe like weak. So how do you deal with them? Well, of course, you've got to be like a bit more sympathetic, speak to them a bit gentler, that kind of thing. If it's a lion who's like really direct, but, direct but reserved, that's like, you know, behind the scenes, they need loads of data to get, they care about quality, but they're very direct. There's no point having a long conversation with them. Just give them the facts, very direct. Anyway, that's all I want to say really. They're quite useful, so I'm going to do a proper video on this, because obviously I'm here now. I can only do a quick live, but I am going to do a proper video on this topic to help you guys how to use these personality types to quickly profile people and get what you want. Because I do believe that then that can be another mental model. You know, when I did the video, it might be in the link down below, the 7 mental models for success. Well, 3 of them were about communication, because that's how we get things done. Everything is about negotiating in life. You know, whether you're trying to make some sales or progress your career or whatever you're trying to do, you need to be able to communicate, you know, unless you're going to be behind the scenes in your job, just head down coding, not speak to someone, you know. But if you want to like have all these interactions with people, you need to be able to communicate. So it's a great mental model. I'm going to do a video on it. One thing I would add just before I finish, because I've got to get going that way, otherwise it's probably going to start pissing down soon, is it doesn't work in dating. This is totally different. So in the business world, you know, yeah, you have to communicate and stuff, and you use these. I think it's okay to use these profiling methods, and don't worry about being, you know, generalizing, because you haven't got time to be too accurate. Just, you'll be 80-90% correct in most cases, and I think that's good enough, you know, especially in a sales scenario. You've got to be reactive, you've got to be on the ball there and then in that meeting. That might be your only shot, but that is just for, I would say, business, friendships, possibly some family relations, maybe not, because the more you know people, like your family, you should know them deeper than that. You shouldn't have to need any of these techniques. It's for like new people. So yeah, that's it really. But it doesn't work in dating, because that's like more emotional. All right, got to shoot. See you all later.